Okay guys, today we're going to be installing the sway bar relocation brackets. Bought some from BMR. Cost about 35 bucks. And you know BMR, they have really good products, very good instructions to install it, all that kind of stuff. I bought the stuff from CJ Pony Parts. CJ Pony Parts, I mean, I like them. They have very good customer service, I feel like, and my only gripe about getting these was it took about 2.5 weeks to get it. So I was not expecting that, and that kind of made me a little bit PO'd, but whatever, I got it, so we're gonna throw them on. But really, it's just, all we're doing is kind of moving the sway bar up a little bit out of the way because as you guys know, I'm trying to put on 15 by 10 tires on this, or wheels, and the sway bar is going to be in the way, clearance issues, so we got to get it out of the way to put those new rims on. We already did the brake swap, obviously, in another video. We had to take the GT500 brakes off and put in plain Mustang GT brakes, which is basically the power port bracket and the rotor. And it was an interesting project, a little bit more complicated than I thought, but it was just time consuming. I shouldn't say complicated, but it was just time consuming. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But the sway bar relocation brackets is just really 2 plates like this and the necessary hardware to move it up. You will need to have some type of cutter, like a grinder or like a skill saw or something like that, to cut the OEM bracket that's part of the car, really. Cut it off once you kind of get this out of the way. The instructions specify that you need to remove the lower shocks out of the way, I guess, to get access to it. I watched CJ Pony Parts video of this install, and it just looked like that they took the bolt out from the bottom and kind of like gave them some extra room without going through the trunk and undoing those bolts to get it out completely. So we're going to give that a try. If not, we'll follow the instructions to the T and take that puppy out. Right here is a lower bolt for this strut, and pretty much was going to undoing it, try and take it out, and it's having interference. The sway bar's in the way and can't really push it up to slide it out. So what I'm going to try is take, there's 2 bolts, this one and another one right behind it. I'm going to take those off, slide this off, should be somewhat loose, and try to get the sway bar out of the way, and then take that bolt out and see if I can't move this. Okay? Right here, the sway bar bracket's gone. I removed it from the other side. This allowed the sway bar to kind of hang low, just supported by the 2, I guess, rods in the center. But when I did that, this was still kind of wedged up in there because this is not being supported because it's, attached to the axle. So what I did was got the jack, kind of pushed it up, and it got this bolt out of the bind. So I was able to remove it. So let me drop this down and see if it looks any better. Like if I could, oh wow, it kind of really got that out of the bind. So I think that definitely gets it out of the way. So I don't know if we really need to mess with the top mount at the moment, but if I do, you'll guys be the first ones to know. Okay, right here we got the new plate in. So what you got to do, there's I don't know what you want to say. There's 4 bolts that are the same, which hold the sway bar in place. And then there was 2 bolts that are that go in the middle that kind of hold this in place. So that goes kind of pushed all the way up top, and then this hole right here, right there, you see it? So that is going to be where the bottom bolt goes in. So you just kind of mock it up and make sure it looks pretty good and flush. Let me get this bolt and I'll kind of show you. Like that, see, it just goes in like that. So now with that in mind, you just kind of mark it up with some like a Sharpie or something, and then cut this bottom piece off, okay? Okay guys, just got done cutting it out. So what I did was I went to Home Depot and bought a reciprocating saw, and it made mince work of the metal, of the steel, and then I used my buddy's grinder and kind of did the final touches on it, and it looks really good. Tomorrow I will show you what it looks like, kind of mock it up. It is getting pretty late. It was Ash Wednesday today, so I didn't get to work on it as much as I want. Okay, to recap from last night, we got the passenger side done. Did not bolt up the sway bar quite yet. I kind of did put it up there, and it looks like it's going to fit fine. It's going to be tight clearance right by the lower control arms, but didn't bolt it up quite yet since I thought it was going to kind of interfere with the driver's side, cutting that part out. So what I did at the moment was just support the axle with some jack stands and disconnected that the shock on the driver's side. Okay, if you're going to be using a grinder like what I was doing, remember, get a face shield because it will definitely help out. You gotta think safety also on these kind of projects. Okay guys, so pretty much I had the sway bar tightened up and all that. Did the driver's side, was working on the passenger side, and had everything tightened. When I was putting in the last bolt of all of them for the shock, because this is supposed to go on this side, right? Well, you can't do it that way because the bolt, the sway bar interferes with the bolt trying to put it in. Like, you can't do it. It's not going to happen. So I think I'm going to have to take this out, also take it out on the driver's side, do the shocks first, and leave these bolts in, because it's going to be, you can't really get it in because the shock's in the way, right? And so do all of that and then tighten the sway bar up to these bolts in, okay? Okay, sorry for the poor lighting, but I just got done doing the sway bar relocation install. It really wasn't that bad of a project to begin with, okay? The only thing I want you guys to be aware of, that there is hardly any clearance between the sway bar and the lower control arms. So there might be some rubbing and noises. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, this concludes this mod, and again, I did this mod to put some bigger tires on the car. I want to go with 15 by 10 welds, and in order to do so, I had to switch out the Shelby rear brakes and put on Mustang GT brakes, and obviously do the relocation bracket install. But I think that setup is going to look awesome on this car, and it's going to help the Shelby hook to the ground. So if you like this video, click the thumbs up, the usual spiel. Please subscribe. It lets me know, if you're more interested in this. Just leave that stuff in the comments down below, okay? And again, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.